Oh, you thought it was over? You thought it was over? Don't you think for 1 second this thing is not over? Adam Silver in major heat in regards to the WNBA and NBA for the refereeing controversy. We heard all of these players and WNBA coaches blasting the malpractice of the referees. Obviously, this whole gambling situation. This is crazy. It's not over. In the midst of WNBA CBA negotiations, the league is in major trouble and major heat, and this could danger Caitlin Clark playing in 2026 for the WNBA. We got to break this down. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's not play games. You must have forgot. Oh, you got sidetracked with the new Caitlin Clark commercial. You got sidetracked with Caitlin Clark practicing golf with Michael Jordan and all of this stuff. You got sidetracked by all the gems Sophie Cunningham been dropping on her podcast. You got sidetracked with Nneka Ogwumike signing with Project B in the midst of the 2026 CBA negotiation for the WNBA to have a 2026 season. You got distracted. You must have forgot. And I am here to remind you, and this came out today, and the deadline is today. Adam Silver must respond. Here it says on the Hill, NBA's Silver faces deadline to respond to Cruz panel on gambling controversy. And we already heard Stephen A. Smith say the WNBA is next. We've heard many people with ties in the industry say the WNBA is next to be investigated. So all of this ties in. We got to break this down. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is facing a Monday, today being Monday, a Monday deadline to respond to a letter from the Senate Commerce Committee demanding answers on how he plans to respond to an explosive gambling scandal that rocked the world of sports. Senator Ted Cruz leads the panel, which wants the NBA to provide documentation on any investigations it has conducted into players, coaches, or employees since 2020 as it relates to alleged betting or game rigging. Now, we already know Tim Donaghy is a ref who got caught. We've heard everything Rasheed Wallace saying that there's emails with referees coursing on cheating on games and all this stuff. And we saw how poor the officiating was. We saw Kathy Engelbert refuse to acknowledge it. All of this stuff. The owners, half of them owners own these WNBA teams. All of this stuff is tied in, man. This is going to get crazy. The letter seeks the NBA's communications with legalized sports books and wants Silver to explain the extent to which the NBA has addressed and plans to further address alleged instances of sports gambling, wagering, and game rigging to ensure players or coaches do not have ties to organized crime. Though the NBA and its players have at a time been at odds with President Trump, there are no signs of a huge fight between the league and the GOP to this point. Just days after Cruz's letter was sent, league officials met with staffers on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. A sit-down, a source told The Hill, was centered on the scandal and led to what spokesperson called a productive conversation. We appreciate the NBA's cooperation and we will continue our investigation to ensure we protect the integrity of the sport and support athletes, the GOP source said. But it's also likely that scrutiny from Congress of Sports and Gambling is going to increase. On Sunday, a pair of Cleveland Guardian pitchers were charged. Cleveland Guardian pitchers were charged by federal authorities with conspiracy and bribery over an alleged scheme to throw balls and strikes at certain times to benefit prop bettors. Major League Baseball, in a statement to ESPN, said it was aware of the indictment in today's arrest, and our investigation is ongoing. Now, this goes to show when Stephen A. said, oh, it don't stop at the NBA. There's other leagues that are next. And then he told Monica McNutt, I ask you to be on the show today for this specific reason so I could tell you the WNBA will be next. That stuck with me. I'm telling you. A source familiar with the matter says Cruz's committee was also weighing a potential inquiry into the Major League Baseball scandal that broke late Sunday. The scandals, coupled with the exploding popularity of legalized sports gambling, are being seen by many as a potential catalyst for what could be a major push by the federal government to further regulate the multi-billion-dollar business of sports wagering. Gambling industry officials argue the recent indictments of current players and coaches prove legal guardrails around sports wagering integrity are working, while critics warn the cases could only be the tip of the iceberg as sports gambling grows faster than the professional leagues can keep up with. See, they can't, like, people are betting so much. It's so much stuff going on. They can't even keep up with all of it and adjust fast enough to what's going on. The leagues themselves have a ton of at risk. A new poll from Quinnipiac released on Thursday found a third of all NBA fans think players or coaches involve themselves in illegal activity by influencing the outcome of games. The WNBA is on Prize Picks. The WNBA is on all of these gambling apps too. I'm telling you, this is going to be big whenever it comes down. I'm telling you. It says majority of fans believe they indulge in illegal activities by influencing the outcome of games or individual performance to affect sports gambling results. Federal authorities announced charges against more than 24 people, including Terry Rozier. Chauncey Billups is part of a sprawling corruption scheme, alleged sharking non-public information with sports bettors and rigged poker games with ties to organized crime. We also Let's go. Let's see here. Um, here it says it's pretty clear the toothpaste is out of the proverbial bottle. Stephen L. Shapiro, a professor of sports management and consumer behavior at the University of South Carolina, told The Hill, "There's just too much revenue up for grabs between these leagues and their gambling partners to expect them to scale any of this back themselves. So I could see the government getting involved in a big way here." Now, if you think that Adam Silver, for one, he was our hope for getting a CBA done for the WNBA. We heard him come in and say, "Hey, things have gotten too personal." These were his words. Things have gotten too personal between the WNBPA and Kathy Engelbert. Things have gotten too personal to negotiate, which is why he was stepping in, which is why he was inserting himself to make sure that a deal got done, and which is why he was so confident that one was going to get done, is because he was going to make sure it happened himself. Now he had this happen. Now he can't worry about a CBA. You got Nneka Ogwumike signing with Project B in the middle of it. You got Unrivaled announcing their rosters in the middle of it. All types of stuff. He doesn't have time to worry about this. And he knows, because it's been put out there, that the WNBA will be next on the investigation. We already saw the whole thing where they was talking about Caitlin Clark's civil rights was violated. They were saying her civil rights was violated for how she was done in these games, how she was targeted in these games. And the referees turned a blind eye to it, and Kathy Engelbert ignored it. This is going to have an effect on the WNBA. Adam Silver's deadline is today. I'm going to be following this story non-stop. I have to know what is going on with Adam Silver. He's under heat. He's under heat, and he has to figure it out. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. This is Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.